Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Courtney, and since the GoPro 10 just came out this last month, I'm gonna do an unboxing and kind of go over some of the specs and compare it to the GoPro Max, which you might be thinking, why would I compare this to a 360 camera? But I have a reason for it, trust me. And now for my usual disclaimer, I've never had an action camera before. This is going to be my first one. So as usual, it's a bit of a beginner's perspective. I was not looking at getting an action camera. Never really had an interest in getting one. Never really cared that much and jumped on the GoPro bandwagon. But the reason I'm finally deciding to try one out is because I had been filming more and getting out, taking photos. So I really wanted to get an additional really lightweight camera that had good image quality as well as good stabilization. So if I wanted to like film my dogs and when I'm going hiking, it would be really convenient for that. Again, the GoPro wasn't my first choice. My brother got the Max when it came out last year and I've used it a few times. Nothing really extreme, just like for a vacation that I went on. Probably my favorite thing about it is 360 photos. That was really kind of fun and convenient. You don't have to like worry about making sure everybody's in the picture. It just happens that way and then you can frame it up after the fact. Other than that, I feel like the quality is really lacking. Even my brother, who uses it for mountain biking, like actually extreme things, I think he was disappointed kind of by it because it is 18 megapixels, but then you're spreading those megapixels out for the whole 360 image. So it's a much more reduced quality than what you think when you see like, oh, it's a 5K camera. It's like 5K for 360 degrees worth of pixels. So it kind of reduces the quality a lot. So he was really not that happy with how the videos were turning out from his mountain biking. And based on the research that I've done, that kind of seems to be like a theme for GoPro, as far as I can tell. So I wasn't super thrilled, and like it wasn't the first camera that I looked at. There are rumors that a new GoPro Max will be coming out this year. But I think the main thing is kind of a hard habit to get out of framing something with the camera, making sure it's pointed at, which you don't have to do that with the 360, which theoretically is really nice. But then after you're done filming, you have to like look through 360 degrees worth of footage and kind of like frame everything. And it just, I don't know, it kind of stresses me out. It seems like a lot of work. I prefer right now at least to just point out what I want to film and frame it myself. So again, kind of weird that I'm doing a comparison maybe between just a GoPro 10, which I think has the widest field of view of 170 degrees versus the Max, which goes full 360. It also has a hero mode, which kind of makes it more comparable to this, but like at a very, very reduced quality. Basically, when the Max is in hero mode, it's only using one of the lenses instead of two of the lenses that are being stitched together for the 360. There are several differences worth mentioning between the two. Maybe you're wanting to dabble in the 360 game and want to get that instead of the Hero 10 because you're like, oh, I can do everything that I can do with the Hero 10 and more if I get the Max. Kind of true, but also not really true. So here's some differences that are worth noting. So the 10 is a 23 megapixel. When you're shooting in hero mode with your Max camera, you're only shooting with 5.5 megapixels, where the 10 is at 23 megapixels. The 10 can shoot video up to 5.3K at 60 frames per second, where the Max can only go up to 1440 by 1080, 60 frames per second. So it's not even 4K. I don't even think that's high def. That's really low quality in my opinion. The 10 has the new Hyper Smooth 4.0, where the Max only has a 2.0, so it's a much more outdated Hyper Smooth. You can live stream on both of them in 1080, which I personally doesn't matter to me. You can't use an external mic with the Max, so if you're looking to use it for a vlogging camera, you're really a lot more limited with your audio options, which may or may not be a turnoff to you. You can shoot in RAW with the 10, which is something I definitely am excited about doing. The 10 has a lot more shooting modes, one of which is the night shot, which I'm curious to see. I heard that it wasn't like that amazing really, but it is a little bit better than not having it basically, because these GoPros are notoriously bad in low lighting, which is another reason that I wasn't excited about getting it. But I kind of guess that's like a normal thing for action cameras because the sensors are so small. None of them do super great in low lighting. The 10 is waterproof up to 33 feet, where the Max is only up to 16, so that's twice the amount of protection and waterproofness. The 10 also is, I think, when I researched it, the first GoPro to actually have a removable lens, which can be really exciting to see what other lens options GoPro comes out with. And then also obviously like if you scratch it or something happens to it, I think it was maybe $30 to like just get a replacement lens, which is really nice because I'm always paranoid about scratching stuff. So I put screen protectors on pretty much everything that I have. The 10 also has hindsight, which basically means that when you start recording, it'll have captured 30 seconds before you actually hit the record button. Kind of crazy that it can do that. that they both have voice control. And when the Max is in hero mode, they both will have face and smile detection, which is important. And obviously a big one to mention is that the Hero 10 is the first GoPro to have the new GP2 processor, which is all about speed apparently. I have nothing to compare it to. Well, I guess I have the Max to compare it to, but everything should be faster with it basically. Just going through those specs alone, honestly, I'm not entirely sure why you would ever choose the Max over the Hero 10 unless like your primary thing you want to do is just shoot in 360. Then I guess you just have to get it and settle losing some of those other features. My hope is that the new Hero Max 2.0 or whatever they're going to call it will have just a lot higher resolution. Like I don't think I would bother getting it unless it's like significantly better resolution, especially in hero mode. Like I could be okay maybe having crappier 360, but then if I wanted to switch to hero mode, I feel like I'm sacrificing so much more from this going to that. So it's just not worth it to me because that hero mode is really lacking. Even the 360 is kind of lacking with resolution. So one other thing that I wasn't even planning on talking about in this video was the overheating issues with the GoPro 10. Did not know it was that much of an issue. I read a couple of reviews on Amazon about it. Oh, that's fine. There's always bad reviews on stuff, right? The day that it arrived, David Manning, a tech YouTuber, came out with a video I saw that talks about the overheating issue and like if it's a deal breaker basically. Really great video. Definitely should go check that out if you're kind of considering it and worried about it. He does a very in-depth testing that you probably would want to check out. But basically his first few tests, he compared it to a bunch of other action cameras and the Hero 10 was definitely the worst. And I think the first two tests, the camera actually shut off just after 10 minutes of filming and he was inside. And I was just like, I started to panic because my whole goal was to use this camera for fun outside, but then to also use it as my overhead camera so I don't have to keep using my iPhone. So sometimes these videos, I literally take like an hour to film them because I'm really bad at speaking to a camera still. I was going to use it so I could have my iPhone and not have to worry about filming with it and filling up my phone with footage. I would need this to run for at least in half an hour increments. So I started to panic and then he's like, keep watching the video. So that's what I did. But basically it was pretty simple. The bottom line of it is that all action cameras have overheating problems and making them waterproof definitely doesn't help with that, but it all really has to do with airflow issues. So I haven't watched any of the other videos reviewing it, but most of the time people will set the camera on their desk or whatever and they'll just set it there and let it time. When you think about using this camera, actually there's always airflow. If you're riding your bike, if you're walking with it, and then the feet that hold the camera to your mount are flapped down, which is, you know, a way the hot air can be escaping. So basically after he kind of like put a little bit of a fan on it and even just propping it up so it wasn't setting on his table surface, I think he got all the way up to like 49 minutes before it overheated. So I definitely can deal with that. Maybe I'll have to just check it every 30 minutes. Most people record an average of like 1 to 2 minute shots with their GoPro. So I feel like most people wouldn't really have to worry about that, but that might be something you want to consider if you do plan on just setting it on a surface and filming yourself for long periods of time. You probably would not be able to do that with a 10. My brother suggested that you can actually power your camera and take the battery out and film. So if it is an issue for me, that would probably be a way that would help more heat to dissipate. Obviously I haven't started using it yet, but we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and unbox the GoPro first. So as you can see, the case is identical to the Max. So I got the bundle and it was the same price as getting just the GoPro. Came with a 32GB micro SD card. You have some instructions and literature. Your camera must be updated before you can use it. So let's see what we got. We have the GoPro itself. Garbage. Identical body to the Hero 9. But yeah, you can see here these feet. Most people, when they test it, they just go like that. But when you're actually using it, you're always having it mounted to something. So that kind of just lets more air get up into it with this through the speakers. Buying the bundle gets you a second battery. So I got 2 batteries there. So you got your mounting accessories though. You have a USB-A to USB-C for charging. You can just charge the batteries in the camera. And the last thing that comes with it is a tiny little selfie stick, essentially. Feels pretty cheap, but I'm sure it'll get the job done. And there you go, saver case. So you pull it down and it pops open. You have your battery slot, SD card, and USB Type-C. And then just to compare the actual camera, and just so you know, my brother thought the battery from the Max would fit inside of the Hero 10, and it does not. But this is the GoPro Max, and he has some other accessories in here. But as you can see, The Max is definitely a lot taller, but they're very, very similar in size. And you only have one screen, touch screen on this. Here you have a touch screen and then just a monitor, which you don't really need two screens because you could always switch which camera lens you're using, and then you can look at the screen that you want to be looking at if you want to look at it. Now let's open up my other accessories. So I'm not going to open this, but basically this is just screen protectors. Like I said, I like to protect things. I'll probably just put it on the screens and not on the lens, even though it has a lens protector. Since you can replace it, I don't want to like risk messing up the quality of the image. And this has a coating on it that's supposed to keep water from like setting on it, and I doubt this has that. We got the extra battery with a charging dock, so you can charge two batteries at the same time. I tried fitting the Max batteries in here and it does not fit. As I mentioned, the 10 you're able to use an external microphone with, so this is the adapter. Pretty simple. There is no actual mic port on this, so you have to use this converter, which is a USB Type-C that basically goes into where you charge it, and then it has a 3.5 jack on it, and you're able to still charge it at the same time with this, which is pretty cool. Something else super cheap that I got from Amazon is just a holder to be able to put it on your backpack strap, because I feel like I would like to use my GoPro that way. And then you have it there and you're able to just like hike or do whatever, and it's out of the way. So I thought that that would be a really nice accessory to have, and I'll put links to all of this stuff down in the description if you want to check any of them out for yourself. So this is from SmallRig. I have a couple of their products for like filming. They usually have good tripods and mounting accessories for cameras and phones. Didn't realize that it was plastic. So it has a lock, unlock. So I'm gonna unlock it, put it inside. Definitely still gives it protection. If you drop it or something, it would be protected. So then you close it, locked in place now. So you have two cold shoe mounts, access to the buttons, to the ports, to the feet. You can still open the door while it's in there. You're supposed to be able to take this door off. I don't know. Okay. Swap it out. Basically, you can replace the door. I would put the door on before you put it in here. Put it in the rig. Put the adapter there. They give you little guides everywhere. I'm just ignoring them because I don't know what I'm doing. It has a little thing there to release it. Do that there, plug it in, and then you can plug in the power and your microphone, put it in the cold shoe so you have enough room to do a light and a microphone if you want to. Definitely, I feel like a must accessory to get, or something similar if you are using this for vlogging. Then last accessory, supposedly it's waterproof too, which is pretty cool. Does not float though. Has a wrist strap, which is nice, and you can lock it down. It has a tightening thingy-mabopper there. Technical term. Okay, clicks into place, put it down. Got it. Then you put this in here. Look at that, isn't that wonderful? So this is as long as it gets. Goes from 8 inches to 19.5. So this is the 19.5. So then you have your normal. This is probably the 8-inch, I'm guessing. It's kind of weird. Lots of adjustments on this apparently. So there you go, your normal tripod mode. They should have a level on this thing. Just normal short vlogging arm. What's up? Very cute. Okay, so I think that'll do it for this video. Again, I'll put links to everything down below. Definitely really excited to try this out. Plan on going hiking, and then I'll have my brother compare the two of them side by side on his mountain bike, I think. Really curious to see if it's just in my head, because I used this to film my dogs going in some water, and I feel like my iPhone could have taken a better video. So I'm curious to see if I'll be happier with how this does. Let me know what your guys' favorite GoPro accessories are, because I have a feeling if I like this, I'm definitely gonna have to get more. But yeah, so make sure you stay tuned for the follow-up video where I give my final thoughts and let you know if I keep it. Like, there's a possibility I wouldn't even keep it and maybe just fully let my brother have it or something. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next video.